Hello, my dear students. So good to meet you. Now, at the 40th presentation, please listen careful. The final presentation for the first season. Use it in your research. More details and contact is below. For any question, contact, and let's go and research.
Welcome back to the Path to Happiness, an introduction to the unification principle. I'm your host, Dr. Tyler Hendricks. Fifth, all civilizations have to bear fruit in this land, and this includes civilizations that developed on the land and civilizations born on the shores of rivers and seas. First, let us look from the perspective of land masses. The ancient continental civilizations that arose in Egypt and Mesopotamia bequeathed their fruits to the peninsular civilizations of Greece, Rome, and Iberia, and thence to the island of Great Britain. And this island civilization passed on its culture to the United States, a continental civilization. Then the direction was reversed, with the United States passing on its culture to the island nation of Japan. Now these fruits are to be harvested in the peninsular civilization of Korea, where Christ is to be born. From the perspective of bodies of water, the river civilizations that arose on the shores of the Nile, the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, passed on their cultures to the civilizations in the vicinity of the Mediterranean Sea, Greece, Rome, Spain, and Portugal. These, in turn, bequeathed their fruits to the civilization on the Atlantic Ocean, notably Great Britain and the United States. All these fruits will be harvested in the civilization of the Pacific Ocean, which links together the United States, Japan, and Korea. Sixth, God prepared Korea's own axial age. Karl Jaspers developed the worldwide theory of an axial age, a period around 500 BC, of substantial philosophical and religious developments, such as Buddha's doctrine, Buddhism, Confucius' doctrine, Confucianism, Lao Tzu's doctrine, Taoism, Zoroastrianism, and the Greek philosophers, Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle. Just as these philosophical and religious developments built the foundation of the conscience and soul to welcome Jesus, the Korean axial age included the Donghak movement, Master Che Jae-yu, also known as the Suin movement. It started the Donghak movement, which was opposed to Western learning and helped develop Catholicism in Korea. Master Che Shi-hyung, also known as Haewol, succeeded Master Suin. Master Gang Il-sun, also known as Jungsan, founded Jungsan-do. Master Baek Jung-bin, also known as Sotaek-san, founded Won Buddhism. And Master Na Chol, also known as Hongam, founded Dae-jong-gyo. And there are more. These people developed modern forms of Confucianism, Buddhism, Taoism, and indigenous Korean faiths. Centered on Christianity, Catholicism from 1784, and Protestantism from 1884 until now have been developing and preparing the spiritual foundation in order to receive the second coming of the Messiah, to be born among the Korean race. We believe that God prepared Korea as the central nation during the period of preparation for the coming of the Messiah. 2,000 years ago, in order to welcome Jesus, God prepared Israel, and God prepared Korea in the same way in order to welcome the second coming of the Messiah. When the First and Second World Wars broke out during the climax of the period of preparation for the second advent of the Messiah, what was the situation of the Korean people? From 1905 to 1945, Korea fulfilled a 40-year period under the Japanese Empire's rule, where they literally hovered between life and death. Japan took away Korean history and language, and even demanded that the people adopt Japanese names. Immediately following World War I, in resistance to the Japanese, on March 1st, a total of 33 religious leaders, which included 15 Catholics, 16 Protestants, and 2 Buddhists, as Korea's representatives, started an independence movement. On that day, the spirit that was once lost was reborn by the global religious world. On March 1st, which is Korean Independence Day, many Koreans gave their lives, including the 16-year-old female martyr, Yu Kwan-sun, and in so doing prepared the altar for the birth of the second coming of the Messiah. Through the defeat of the Japanese Empire in World War II, Korea finally became independent. However, soon after, through the division of North and South Korea and the Korean War, the country went through total agony because the ideological conflicts between America and the Soviet Union hit the earth in Korea. During the 70 years that have elapsed since Korea's independence, world communism, centered on the Soviet Union, surrendered, and the Republic of Korea went from being among the poorest nations of the world to being one of the top 10 economic superpowers. Korea's platinum age is coming. The influence of Korean culture is spreading throughout Asia and the entire world. Right now, the world is facing a critical time in which we must liberate North Korea and gain the unity of North and South Korea. All of these things are occurring because heavenly fortune is coming to Korea. Korea has the potential to become an ideal world of creation whose future is overflowing with peace, freedom, happiness, interdependence, mutual prosperity, and universally shared values. Now, as we are finishing up our series of 40 lectures on Reverend Sun Myung Moon's unification principle, we want to look back on what we are presenting as the path to happiness. Basically, what we have is a philosophy of love. God is love, and the creation is an expression of masculine and feminine love. The full experience of love is found in marriage and family, and this love has the power to make of the world one family under God. It makes sense then that it was the misuse of love that turned the world into one war zone under Satan, and that it is the restoration of love that rebuilds the path to happiness. But we who are born in a war zone cannot know what love really is. That has to come from a place of peace, from God, through God's Son and daughter, the Messiah. In 1976, Newsweek magazine interviewed Reverend Moon and asked him if he is the Messiah. He answered, "Yes, and so are you." Reverend Sun Myung Moon, on the world stage, dedicated his 93 years of life on the earth for this work. He stands on his words and deeds. Centering on his wife, President Hak Shahan Moon, we, his family and followers, are continuing the work of God to bring authentic love into the family, spiritual communities, and society, and build this path to happiness, God's kingdom on the earth and in heaven. We invite you to join us. Thank you for your kind attention, and may God guide your consideration of all these things.
Okay. This was the presentation for today. Enjoy it, use it in your research.